It's all good.
Oh. Shit, you can hear it.
Yeah, it's all good.
I can't even breathe.
Well, now the bass is gone, so we killed that time. Oh, we were recording
go.
for the bass so we could take it out. Now it's over.
Well,
let's do this, dude.
We have some hippies out there and 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 hippies out there.
they think they got bass over there.
Let's bump ours higher.
Y'all can get that CPAP special in that ass. What is good, everybody? It's your boy, Young Hippie. We back in the bakery. It's a lovely Sunday evening. It's about episode, what is this, 22 now? 21. This is 21.
Ooh,
This
lucky
is episode
21.
We've been so far behind on our episodes, number-wise. Like, we're always like a number behind what we usually are, or ahead. I thought 21 was last week, honestly. Does it matter?
I think it's 20.
Who even keeps count of their episodes?
He's like, I think it's 20.
He's
actually.
like, dude, just fuck it. We're in the 20s. That's all that matters. I got my boy K-Boog with me. Say what's good, Kyle. How you doing today, brother?
Oh, hanging in there. It is finally getting warm again in the valley, and I've got shorts on, no more jeans and hoodies every day, and I'm stoked.
I got me some shorts on too, man. It is time to get a little cozy, a little more naked than usual. You know what I'm saying? We're about to drop that naked gear for the season. Shout out to our boy A Jones. He couldn't make it today, cooking up his album.
In that studio.
Yep, he's out there doing his thing. So shout out to him. We sending all the good love and positive vibes his way. But we have a very special guest today, the one and only CannaMomma. How you doing today?
Hi, guys. I'm good. How are you guys?
Good. It's a long time coming. You're so damn busy. We had to hunt you down, reschedule. Almost had to reschedule today, but
Almost.
we got you.
Yes, I'm super excited to be here, to be honest. It's my first podcast ever, so yeah, I'm excited to be in the hot seat.
There you are. I like that. We love having firsts here too. So we want to make sure you get as high as you possibly can, as fucking chill as you possibly can.
Okay.
And let's have a great time. How we started off here at the bakeries, usually we just talk about our week just to get it in and let the listeners know what we've been up to, what we got going. So we'll start with K-Boog this week, man. How was your week? We haven't really been chatting a lot in the chat. The chat's been a little dead this week.
Wait, you guys have like a hippie life chat?
Yeah, we have like a bit like where me, him, and Jones, and then our other partner, we're all in one chat. So that's how we communicate. We don't really call each other. We just put it in on the chat.
Just send it in a little blue eye message.
So this week was a little dead.
Yeah.
So what were you up to,
I was working. My homeboy is moving back to Michigan next weekend, so this was like his last weekend in town. So we went out last night and hung out at the yard and had some drinks. I didn't have any drinks, but you know.
You don't drink?
I haven't for a little while. It's not like I don't drink, but I just haven't been drinking much. So I don't know. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was cool. We all hung out and got a chance to hang out with him one last time before he moves north. We'll probably get dinner sometime next week before he leaves. But it was cool. Good week, chilling.
I'm like, where's Michigan? But Michigan's way up there, right? North?
Yep, north. But yeah, so that's what I was doing all week. Really just kind of keeping it low key, and started watching Game of Thrones again in anticipation of that to come back.
I cannot wait.
I can't keep up with I can't keep up with all of the Game of Thrones seasons, to be honest.
Man, you just gotta get high and just watch it all in like a week. You'll do it in a week if you really are committed to it. Which you will be. You'll be like, fuck, what's gonna happen next, dude? Like, you're like, all right, this is it. I gotta go to bed. And then like 2 hours later, 2 episodes, because each episode's like an hour long. So it's like, fuck, man. But they're heavy, bro. They're fucking,
Really?
yeah.
I feel like I'm not really into shows like that. Like, growing up, my dad was the type to like really be super strict as to what we watched. Like, he wouldn't let us watch like Chucky or like any of those types of horror movies. So we kind of grew up with like Lord of the Rings and Matrix.
This is like fantasy, like Lord of the Rings. This is
yeah, but I feel like now because my dad kind of like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm over it.
It's sick though. Like, I'll tell you something. I don't like that kind of shit. And the fact that like everybody was talking about it, so I was like, what's this Game of Thrones shit? Like, I thought it was like some war shit, which it is, but it's like really
like incest,
nerdy
right?
war. Yeah,
like
they
one part of it.
Yeah,
you're like, that's one highlight.
Yeah, they be doing some unthinkable things on there.
They're keeping the bloodline.
Yeah.
Clean.
They keeping that bloodline nice and yeah.
What the fuck that mean?
Yeah. No outside breeding, boys and girls.
Oh, hell no.
Yeah, man. It's crazy. Like, so like, I'm just gonna tell you because I'm pretty sure a lot of people have already watched it.
It's in the very first episode, so it's not like it's breaking
so like
anybody's
this
heart.
brother and sister, they're like
twins
and shit. Their dad is like king of a whole little region, and in order to keep the fucking bloodline pure, like to make sure that family stays on the fucking throne, like they fuck each other and make sure that their kids are like of the same blood.
Yeah,
so
it's a little more to it than
so
that.
Basically, the uncle is
What?
their dad, and it's all like, so yeah. The brother and sister are fucking, they're like prince and princess.
The sister is the queen, so she's married to the king, which is not the twin brother, and the twin brother has impregnated her for all three of her kids, but all three of her kids are supposedly the king's kids. So it gets pretty fucked up from there, if you could imagine.
All of this sounds kind of like a Spanish novela.
Just with dragons and
With
shit.
dragons and
I'm
knights.
getting so many Game of Thrones is amazing.
There you go.
Hell
All
yeah.
of this positive feedback for Game of Thrones.
See, they
I
know
guess
what's
I have
up.
to watch it now,
You gotta
guys.
check it out. It's definitely, if you get high enough, you're gonna be your mind, because then you're gonna be like, what the fuck? Like, it's gonna start.
You see, but I feel like when I get high and I get like hella high, I tend to just kind of like zone out. Like, it's hard for me to focus sometimes when
And
really
keep
anything,
all
maybe
the
my
pieces
short attention
together.
span.
No, I feel it.
Yeah, you know, and I guess because I love sativas,
Yeah.
and sativa will like get my mind fucking running.
All over the place. I can feel that.
I mean, I love it, and I love sativa for that reason, you know, but I use it more of like creatively and like to like, I don't know. I tend to just, when I get really stoned, I tend to just bring out more of my creative side.
No, I could definitely feel that. Like, I stay fucking.
Joey's got 2 joints in his hands right
look
now.
at this right now.
I'm trying to figure out which way to go with it.
Which one?
Those are the kind of problems you want to have.
As far as the creativity, like, I'm always like, before I bake something, I'm in the garage getting like lit. Like, I have to go in there fully lit because it helps me like focus, but then like that creativity comes out, because then I'll take this like cake and this idea that I had and I draw it. Like, a lot of people don't know this, but like, I'll draw a cake out on paper before I even put it together.
Yeah.
That way, when I go in there, it's not like, oh shit, I'm going on this cake blind. You know what I'm saying? Because once you put some shit on with buttercream, you can't really erase it.
Can't erase that
Yeah.
shit.
No, I've done a cake before. Buttercream is no fucking joke. Like, you need to like
No.
smooth that shit out before it dries.
Oh yeah. Put it in the refrigerator too before you want to decorate it. That's my tip to anybody else out there. But
There you go, guys.
What was
See,
I
that's
doing?
you were talking about getting high before you get creative.
Yeah.
It's funny though, because sometimes like I'll be like, I'm gonna smoke a bowl and I'm gonna sit down and work on whatever picture or video at my computer, and I'll pack a bowl and I'll sit down at my computer and I'll take like one hit off of the bowl, and then the next thing I know, it's like an hour and a half later and I'm done with whatever I was gonna be working on.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I'm like, shit, I only hit that bowl once.
Yeah.
And then
Where
it's
did
like
time go?
and then it's like I kick back and it's like, well, I'm done now. I'm gonna smoke this bowl.
People don't know weed is a
Yeah.
weed is a time machine. Like, it just
It really kind of is,
It
to be
does
honest.
something.
Sometimes it happens to me where I'll smoke a blunt or I'll smoke like anything really, and I feel like I'll turn off the blunt and I'll leave most of the blunt still there. Oh, sorry.
it's all right.
I'll leave like most of the blunt still all there, and get my work, most of it done with just like smoking this much of it.
Yep.
You
Then
know
you
what
got
I mean?
something
And
to
then
come
at the
back
end,
to.
yes, it just feels like
Celebrate.
a reward, you know?
Reward.
It's like a little puppy, you know, you gotta reward yourself.
Yeah, a little pat on the head. There you go. Good
I'm not a
shit.
lazy stoner. I just worked. I get
Oh.
to smoke now.
Y'all think I'm lazy because
Stigma who?
I get work done
Yup.
so fast I can just chill. But really, I'm thinking.
I'm more efficient than y'all.
Oh, hey,
I just did twice the work, you know, mentally. Yeah, that's how I feel too.
What was my week like? I'm trying to think. I mean, really, I just went back to school, started Brad's class.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, we were on spring break. I mean, I go to culinary school, so we had spring break.
That's
and then-
awesome.
yeah, it's really fun, honestly. It's cool too. That's actually how. So, a lot of people know because I've been talking about it for like 4 or 5 months. I've been trying to get into this resort. It's called the Wigwam.
Mm-hmm.
Very prestige, extremely top of the line. So, I would send my shit and I would get denied. I even applied to be a dishwasher, and they actually responded like, you got some really nice qualifications, like we're really surprised with your resume, but we still got to go with somebody else. And it's like, what the fuck am I doing wrong? So
Oh,
I
wow.
gave my resume to my professor, and he was like, bro, your resume is fucking terrible. Like, straight up.
It was just like the representation
Sometimes
of
you
your
gotta do
resume,
that.
not your actual
Yeah.
resume.
It was how I wrote it.
I see.
So he told me, I was like, okay, what did I do wrong? He was like, there's just too many eyes in there. Like, just take all that shit out. And then we had a career panel where all these chefs came in and they talked about this, and that. And this one lady was like front of the house manager. So she knew like what she would look for in somebody who like applied for a job. And she was giving us really all the keys. And I was like, all right. So I took all that down and I redid my resume, sent it to the chef, sent him an email, and then he emailed me back and told me if I can do an interview Tuesday at the Marriott,
Mm-hmm.
which is out here in Scottsdale. I think Desert Ridge. So, yeah, just
So
it's
you
not
got an interview.
Yeah, I
So
got an
good.
interview at a
So
very
basically.
at a very good, like he said
Wow.
they just did an event for USAA and fed like 3,500 people. So
Oh shit! I can't even imagine feeding
that type of
3,500
shit.
people.
Yeah, like plating,
Like,
making those many
respect.
desserts. Yeah, so
Well, good luck, man. That's awesome.
That is really cool. To be
that
honest,
yeah.
I just respect because you're chasing after something that you like. You know.
Yo, I'm
Not
not
a
gonna
lot of people-
front neither. Like, I've got told no so many times, and like at a lot of times, I was almost like, man, fuck this. I'm just gonna go work at Fry's, or I'm gonna just go work here and be a cake decorator. But then I was just like, nah, you like don't settle for that less.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, no disrespect to anybody that works at Fry's or
Right.
anything like that, because I respect your craft. I can't really decorate a cake to the kind of status you can, but that's not where I want to go. I don't want to be a world famous cake decorator. Like, I want to be a world famous pastry chef. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I want to take that cake that you're gonna just throw buttercream on it. I want to do something to it. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's crazy shit. You know.
Mm-hmm.
So, no disrespect. But yeah, I'm just moving places, and if that doesn't work, I got a fallback plan. I'm gonna go to Desert Diamonds. I talked to them, which is the casino right there by Westgate, and they got a fucking resort just going up right over there too. So there's all kind of shit. You just have to be patient, people. Like, sometimes you got to take those L's to get that big W. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, look at sports. Fucking if you want to look at LeBron James, blah blah blah, ring chasing. Hey, look at fucking not LeBron James. Let's look at the city of Cleveland. Okay, those niggas were just hopeful. They kept losing. Eventually, they got the dub. They did have to go and get LeBron. I ain't going to get LeBron. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to keep pushing, and that's how you got to look at it. Just
Hell
keep
yeah.
pushing. Don't let those closed doors.
Yeah, LA said we got to get back into the playoffs, and
Yeah.
oops.
Yeah. Don't
Yeah.
go for LeBron.
And then I saw yesterday some article that said something about he's been playing injured with an injury he probably should have been playing with anyway almost all season. Excuses.
Yeah. Yeah, y'all should have brought that injury up when it first happened. Like, LeBron's being watched for an injury, not fuck, we're out this.
They missed the playoffs. Oh, he's been playing her.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Baby ass boy.
That's
Fuck yeah,
hilarious.
he a
I
big
totally
baby.
checked out once you guys said basketball. I don't know
I don't
anything
even-
about
I don't
sports.
even
I
like
really wish
basketball
I
either.
knew what the
did.
fuck is going on half the time,
She picked her phone up. I just know, like, when she said that, like, we were talking about sports. She's
That's
up
us
over here on the
girls.
phone, like.
Yeah, you guys totally just had a moment.
That's tight. Shit.
So
What is-
what's
Oh yeah, I was gonna say, what does a week look like for you? What is
I
busy
mean, for
as
me,
fuck?
I juggle a lot of plates, to be honest. I work, obviously, and then I also have 2 babies that I co-parent with, like with their dad. So I juggle that, and then I also, I mean, do social media. Social media, honestly, it can be a lot sometimes.
It's a
lot to
job.
handle. It is kind of like a job, you know, because it requires just a lot of like mental energy, I feel. But I love it. I love just really putting out a strong message out there when it comes to cannabis. And really, you know, I feel like I am kind of like breaking the stigma. I'm like a full embodiment of breaking the stigma, because us moms, you know, it can be difficult as far as being put in that category of that we're not allowed to smoke weed or whatever
Right.
reason, but we're just like anybody else, you know, like
what's really the difference between smoking a joint and having a full bottle of wine?
exactly. And to me,
Really?
I
And
don't
so
like
many people-
alcohol.
There's
you know?
some drunk moms out there be trying to give their 2 cents. Like, you sit at home all day and
Yeah.
get drunk and half-ass watch your kids over there eating glue and digging in the toilet. When I walk in, little Jimmy's got a full diaper, and you're just drunk as a skunk. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that should be crazy. But you always notice, like, the moms that do smoke pot, they're like, kids always fed, always food in the house, you know.
Yeah.
Shit there may be a little mess on the coffee table, but other than that, like, the house is clean and shit, like, everything's all put in order, but, like, out of place where stoners put shit, like, you know why that's there, like, okay,
Yeah.
I know exactly why that's there, because when she's walking that way, she's gonna pick it up, hit that, you know what I'm saying, like, but
Yeah.
why is that wine bottle in the bathroom next to the tub, miss? That's what I need to know. And your kid. Like,
No, I think
crazy
we've
shit.
already came really far, to be honest, from
Yeah.
like a couple years ago. You know, now I feel like we're getting less and less. I, to be honest, have yet to receive any type of backlash. I receive nothing but support from, a lot of women and a lot of moms. And really, that's a lot of what keeps me going and what keeps me like wanting to just continue to spread the message. Is just because there are so many moms out there that are still in the closet, that are still afraid to speak up sometimes and just admit, you know, that they use cannabis as a form of how any other mom were to use a Tylenol or to use a glass of wine to relax. There's so many benefits when it comes to cannabis. And if we were to just stop like putting cannabis is for only one certain type of people, like I think it's just time for us to just get over the stigma, you know.
So
Anybody can smoke weed.
would you say your role is like an activist? Like,
Absolutely.
That's
Like
what
an
you do.
advocate, you know, for
that's what an activist.
for cannabis.
What the fuck did I get activist? What is that? That's fucking lean, isn't it?
What?
What are you talking about?
I don't know what he's talking about now.
Oh my
Activist?
god, isn't that lean?
Activist is a thing.
Activist?
Then you know what? Never mind. I think I just had a thought out loud. I
You
don't
just had
know.
an epiphany about
I just
lean?
had a thought out. No, I don't. No epiphany about lean. I just had a thought out loud that I probably shouldn't have said out loud. It shouldn't have came out, but
What?
it did. You know, like those thoughts that you're thinking, and then like you
And
happen.
you're like, no, come back.
Yeah, and it just happens to
Oh,
come
that came
out of
out
your
out
mouth.
loud?
Like, oh, I just said that. Oh, fuck.
Like
Yeah, we've all
you're
done that.
registering it's a dumb thing to say out loud
Yeah,
as
that-
you're saying it.
Yeah, like that's what I was like, oh my god.
Well,
Whatever.
anyway, moving
Advocate.
Advocate, yeah.
Weed
There's so many words.
advocate. There's yes. So that's your main. What's your main like role? Like
What do you mean role? Like, what's my purpose?
purpose as far as to like what you're doing is you want to change the stigma, right?
Mhm.
What's the goal?
But
I
what's
think
the
that-
long term goal?
The long-term goal, I want to be the next Oprah.
Oh,
Like,
Bam.
when it comes to cannabis, you know, I think
like
right
that.
now there's not a niche when it comes to that market right now. And I feel like right now we're in the pioneering stages of the cannabis industry. And I'm really moved by that. I feel like kind of the plant chose me in a sense, because I'm very outspoken. I'm very the type of person that I will demand my seat at the table, and I will never be afraid to speak up for myself because I'm a woman or because I'm a mom. Nothing can define me. You know what I mean?
I like that.
So I think God really gave me this voice and was like, hey, I'm going to give you a shitload of anxiety, girl, so that you can and you're going to speak up for a lot of women that aren't able to speak up for themselves.
So that's where it all came into play. You were trying to treat your anxiety with
Absolutely.
different ways.
I was diagnosed with severe anxiety, not just like anxiety. My mom, she's very traditional Mexican, and my poor mom, she just wanted to get help for me, because I would have like random panic attacks.
It's all right.
Sorry.
Know.
That happens.
They know.
I would have like random panic attacks and like anxiety attacks, and she would take me to like counselors, to psychiatrists, and like just trying to get me help, And I feel like that was already like a huge step for her, because traditional Mexican parenting, like you don't really believe in that type of help. You believe in that you're going to cry in your little pillow and you're going to, just get over this because you're going to get over it.
Yeah.
Suck it up and move on.
Yeah. And I'm very
Walk it
grateful for my mom, because she wanted to not just kind of like seek, not just kind of do that to me, So every psychiatrist and every counselor was telling her, like, you know what, you're going to have to put your child on medicine for the rest of her life. Like, she's going to have to take these pills if she were to have like anxiety, which was all the time at that point in my life.
How young were you at this point?
I think I was like 9 years old.
Oh, wow.
So I was young. I was young
Wow.
and anxious. Like, anxious was my middle name. So after a while, I thank God for my mom just standing up and saying, like, no, you're not going to be on pharmaceuticals, just because that was not. And I hesitate to even take a Tylenol sometimes, to be honest, because I just hate it. I hate the causes that it does to your body and just everything behind it,
Yeah.
So I feel like I was kind of picked in a way, because I actually used to be very against cannabis. Like, I didn't start smoking weed until probably like 2-3 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I'm still kind of like fresh off, you know what I mean? But actually, it's been longer. I'm lying. I want to say it's like 3-4 years ago. Yeah, 3-4 years
Girl,
ago.
you still new to smoking. It's okay.
I am. But I used to be that type, that would, but because I was uneducated about it and I didn't care to like do my research, or didn't care to ask the proper questions, or really even be open-minded about it, but, and I'm mature enough to admit that about myself. And I feel like it wasn't until my anxiety started to spark up again, because it became to a point where I wouldn't really get that anxious anymore. And it wasn't until like my anxiety started to spark up again that I started to like seek out different things. And it was my best friend that suggested, was like, hey, you should come over one day and we should just like watch movies and we'll just smoke, So I was like, okay. And we just decided to like smoke that day. And after that day, but because it was my best friend introducing me to something, so I felt comfortable enough. I felt like I could trust her when it came to, she's obviously telling me this because she's trying to help me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Not just like, let's just fucking smoke weed with me, but because
this isn't like
she
13-year-olds like, oh,
yeah,
let's get high.
absolutely. I was already like a grown-ass woman.
Right.
Yeah.
I had kids, like, so I did it. And after that moment, I was like a complete stoner from after that, because I realized
this is what I've been missing.
Yes, like how it would just soothe me. And I think I smoked like a bowl, half a bowl.
That's all you need.
That's all I needed. And to this day, I can't even finish a blunt. Like, I can't even like really smoke that excessive. I mean, don't get me wrong, I can. But I feel like now I use it more
really
of just to
need to.
kind of, just to kind of whenever I
just
need
there.
it. But I'm also not afraid to just admit that sometimes you need some type of help. Some type of ailment. Some people might choose wine. That doesn't make you any less of a person.
Right.
Some people might choose Tylenol. That's your fucking opinion, dude. Like, we all live different types of lives. We all, you know what I mean? If we could all just respect each other, respect our choices,
Thank you.
we would all just be a lot better fucking society.
I like that. It kind of opens my thinking, because I take medication for anxiety and bipolarness, like, you know. So I've noticed, like, because there's been times that I wouldn't take them at all. And then there'd be times where, like, I felt like sometimes I would take too much. And I noticed that, like, when I don't take them, and I was like, the thing is, I'm supposed to take it right when I wake up, right? Boom, first thing I do. But I won't do that. And when I do that, I don't feel like anything happens. But when I wake up and I smoke, like, I smoke a blunt, or I could smoke whatever it is that's there. Like, everything is calm. Like, everything, that shit storm that you wake up with, that your medication is supposed to help. And I know you're supposed to give it time. But, like, some people don't have that kind of time. Like, you're going to snap. You're going to lose it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got a 4-year-old waking up the same way I'm waking up. So we're competing, like, who's waking up the shittiest. So I'm trying to snap out of it. So when I wake up, like, when I smoke, it's like, all right, dude, like, yes. Like,
it's okay.
Fuck everything else that's about to happen right now. Like, we're good. Let's get these kids ready. Everyone in school. Let's have a good day.
And it's an instant thing, and it's also something that doesn't give you a hangover.
No.
It doesn't give you, like, a need to, like, oh, shit, when's the next time I'm going to fucking smoke? And you're, like, over here scratching yourself. Like, fuck no. It's something that, obviously, I feel like, you know, it was put on this earth for some reason, and it's just time to cut the bullshit when it comes to cannabis. Right. You know?
People are,
we've come a long way. Don't get me wrong. We've already came such a long way, but I still think that there's room for improvement.
Definitely. Long term, I would love to see if you could go and sit in the bar and
absolutely.
maybe not smoke a joint in the bar, but be able to have my vape pen in there without, like, kind of looking over my shoulder.
I think we're going to get there as a society.
It would have to be like a bar that doesn't serve food.
Well, yes, that's true too.
I definitely.
Why do you say so? Like, you can't serve food?
Because if they took cigarettes out, they would just, nobody would let you smoke a joint in a bar.
So you think they would treat it in the same way in the category as tobacco?
Absolutely.
Yeah, and plus it's just like, it's a whole food fucking safety issue thing with.
But I'm sure that there would be ways that they could set up private clubs that could have a liquor license in some way, shape, or form, and also you could smoke in. And
you'd have to put a disclaimer, and there's all kind of bullshit
that you would have to do. But of course, we're all down for it.
Let's do it. We'll start our first.
But how many people that go out to the bar and drink would be opposed to having people be able to smoke pot in there? Really?
And you would get so much more money. Like, you're letting people
how much
continuously
more food am I
get
ordering
hungry
if I can sit in there and get high in your restaurant?
Yeah.
Yeah. Whoever starts that up first is going to be a millionaire.
An appetizer? I don't want an appetizer. Oh,
I got an idea for someone right now. A chicken joint spot. You can eat some chicken wings and smoke joints. And
you smoke first.
Chicken joint.
You pay
you pick your flour.
Yeah.
You chill in the lounge for 30 minutes.
No, not even in the lounge. You just get a table, and the wings are like 50 cents a wing. You fucking sit there all day. You can smoke. We'll bring you a complimentary gram on the house. Smoke. And bam, that's it. That's just the start. And then once you get high and you're eating these wings and you have a little soda and you smoke another joint, you're like, yo.
You want fries with that?
Hey, you know what I'm
they come back. The waiter comes back and is like, hey, ¿qué se te ofrece?
Just like that, too. Whatever you said, yes. Yes. Just put it on my tab.
What does that mean?
It means whatever you want.
All right. Oh, that would be lit. But we got the idea. I'm thinking about it. Cooking.
No, that's gonna be.
That'd be crazy.
I think that there's. I want to say there's already something like that. There has to be something like that already happening.
Mint dispensary has like a edible like restaurant now where you can go and eat
and get high.
You can go and eat edibles there, and all their food, like, they serve like meals that are edible.
Wait, what?
Yes.
I feel like edibles are a whole nother demon.
That's where you set people up for failure, because, like, it's like, here, come eat this edible. You eat a meal. You're like, all right, I'm ready to go. And then all of a sudden you get in the car and it's just like, bat. you're hit by that whole meal you just ate. You're sitting on the I-10.
You need to Uber home from that meal.
Yeah.
Oh, no,
High
honey.
as fuck off them edibles. Like,
Oh, my God. That happened to me on my first airplane ride. I was so anxious, guys. Like, I was hella anxious that I thought it was going to be a good idea somehow to take 100 milligram edible. And it was the worst idea ever, to be honest. Worst fucking idea. And it hit me because I didn't realize it was my first time going to an airport. I didn't realize it takes an hour and a half to get checked in, which is what it normally fucking takes for it to fucking hit you.
Yeah.
So by the time I was boarding the plane, I had to like put my glasses on because I was lit as a motherfucker. And I knew that they were going to look at me and like, this fucking pink-haired bitch is like, what, you have like drugs or something? I don't know. You know, I don't know what the type they're going to think. This is what my mentality was at that moment. I was like, fuck, I'm for sure going to either die or go to jail right now. Like,
die.
I felt so high, guys, that I had to befriend like a neighbor. And I was like, I'm like lit as fuck right now. Like I spilled my whole life story. I was like, it was a 30-minute fucking flight.
30 minutes.
Oh my God.
It was a 30-minute flight, but it felt the worst, like on takeoff because I was just on space that day, in space.
See, that's my biggest fear is like fucking flying. Like I want to go all over to all these places, but
you're scared of flying?
Yeah,
you've never flown.
No, that's the crazy thing.
Now I'm obsessed with it. And
I've flown to Jersey. I've flown like to Alabama. I've been like on long flights, but that was against my will as a kid. You know, like I'm an adult now. Like I'm gonna drive my ass. Even though they say driving is a little more dangerous, I'll still take the time.
Oh, hella dangerous.
You can pull over, you can smoke some. You know, you can chill. And if your car breaks down on the side of the road, it's just not all failure. Like when the airplane breaks down in the middle of the air, bro.
But you're going down.
Dude. I know, see? That's the weed. That's why I can't be on no airplane.
Well, don't they have like parachutes now and like
what airplane are you riding?
Wait,
I want to ride that one. I want to fly on that one. Are you saying if
we were... So the airplane I rode didn't have parachutes, like for me to jump out with?
I'm sure somebody did. You might not have. You got a cushion.
Stop.
Yeah, that. All you got for safety is if that bitch goes down in the ocean.
So nothing comes down with a parachute or something that you can like...
No, that's an oxygen mask coming out.
Oh, heck.
If that plane goes down, you better fucking pray to God that they pull some trick out their ass and can get it on glide mode.
Oh, my God.
And then glide that bitch into something that's not gonna blow up when you land it. Yeah, airplanes are fucked.
Here's the thing, man.
You can't think like that. You just gotta go with it.
I mean, a bus could crash through this fucking window and kill us right now, but I'm not worried about that happening either.
I know, dude.
Yeah.
But
and if it's either worry about that or
all this terrorist shit on the airplane,
all this
naked, like they gotta go through these scanners. You checking out my privates.
It's too much work. It's too much.
I gotta pack.
I feel like you're more likely to get
I like to pack a lot of clothing too. You have to understand though, like I pack a lot of clothing when I go somewhere, and this one bag limit shit, I can't do it. I can't do one bag.
He's like, I can't do that one bag.
I'm so serious, bro.
Maybe be a man and pack
we had to
bag.
invest in a roof bag for the top of the car because I packed so much shit. It's not even funny.
Well,
I know, dude.
Sounds like your problem.
I'm a drama. I'm a fucking glamour queen over here, dude. Like, I gotta make sure, bro. I gotta look like a fucking outfit a day, a pair of shoes for that outfit. You know what I'm saying?
I heard that.
I got
Especially
you.
when
And
I go to
typically
Cali.
do pack more than I need, but man, come on.
I end up not wearing, not
That
even
sounds like
wearing
an
half
excuse
of
not
it.
to fly.
Nah, it is.
Nah, it is.
It's like not.
I'm
not
not
making
flying.
excuses.
You get so much like compassion. You take a road trip with your boys. It's like, yeah, man. You know what I'm saying? And when it's with your boys, you can smoke in the car. So it's like, yeah, man, we fucking hot boxing.
Yeah, but what happens when it takes like 2 days to drive somewhere, or you could fly there in 5 hours?
Imagine all the shit you see in those 2 days, though. You're sightseeing. Excuse me. You get to sightsee.
Oh, I mean, I just got all the time in the world to just drive across the country. Yep. I wish.
Let's do it.
Let's do this.
All that.
We're taking the show on the road, guys.
You're comparing like a 16-hour drive.
Yep. You better have a hotspot.
30-minute
Netflix.
flight.
Yeah. So I need I need like a 5-day vacation to get 1 day where I'm going.
Fuck, man. All right, well, you know what? I'm
He's
gonna
like,
meet y'all.
it's cool.
I'm gonna
It's
meet
cool.
y'all on y'all last day there, and then because I'm driving, and when
It
y'all
won't be our last day there because we'll still have 2 more days to chill and then fly back and meet you here.
all that, dude. That's what I like when I used to drink. That was one thing that I almost like got so fucking drunk and did was like, fuck
Get on a
this, I'm gonna
flight?
go just yeah.
Stop.
I used to do dumb shit. When
I'm
I
not going to lie, and I'm not proud of this, but I was removed from an airplane at one point in my
No
life for being too
way.
drunk.
Okay, tell us more.
I was also underage at the time.
How does that even happen?
I don't want to go into too many details, but
But I was removed.
I was getting served at the bar underage in the airport, and
Oh,
I
see.
got a little bit too lit.
That's one way to piss them off.
That boy got a little. He thought he was
And
grown.
I got a little lippy with the stewardess, and
Ooh.
Oh.
And
Bitch,
they-
you gonna serve? I'm already drunk, bitch. You gonna serve me some more?
and I got removed and had to take a later flight.
That's crazy.
I mean, at least you still
I think
got
I
to
was
go on
only
your flight.
19 or 20.
Okay, you weren't like under.
I wasn't like super underage, but I was
Yeah.
definitely underage.
I feel it.
It definitely.
How did you get away with that?
Well, I feel like it definitely would have been one of those things where I was like, well, y'all were serving me in the airport,
This
so
is
let's talk
actually
about
your fault.
that.
Were you in Arizona?
No, it was in the Philadelphia airport.
Makes sense. I don't know why.
It makes sense. I don't know why, but it makes sense.
I'm a Philly fan,
Interesting.
and so I follow this page on Instagram, and it's always videos of them like getting fucked up and partying, like fly Eagles fly. Everyone getting fucked up.
What?
I'm a Philadelphia. It's football shit.
Sports.
I'm sorry.
Sports. Take your
Log-
phone out.
log out.
What?
Sports. Take your phone out.
Arlene has logged out.
That's crazy. Hey, I wanted to touch base real quick. So there was this little thing that happened on Facebook this week with Cowboy and I. It was over a little video of, I'm sure everyone's seen it, of this dude who's from here beating up his little brother because brothers. I thought it was one of them was the brothers and the other one was the brother's
maybe it was his
homeboy.
homie. I don't know.
But basically, the big brother beat him up. Not beat him up, but socked him up like
He like
good.
chin checked him a couple times. He
He's-
didn't like knock
Okay.
him out.
But
or
here's the thing,
nothing.
though. Look, like,
What?
I'm
I
not-
haven't seen the video.
So he's like, doing all that shit, and it's allegedly something that a teacher said, and so you know what I'm saying. So here's where my concern was. I was like, I mean, I get the message, but like, he didn't really have to go as far as to like embarrassing that young man on camera and putting it on camera, like.
So he was recording this whole
He
thing,
had
or somebody else
somebody
was recording,
him beating
and
up,
he
like,
was aware.
Yeah, he knew.
Yeah.
He knew. So, yeah. So then, like,
How young of a brother was
No,
this?
he was
in
old.
high
He
school.
was old enough that if you had told him he was a kid, he would have been like, "Nah, I'm."
he was
grown."
Oh,
probably
I
a freshman or
see.
sophomore in high school.
Yeah, and
his
he was,
brother
Okay.
was in college, like maybe a third year in college.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I
But
don't
he
know.
was old and he was older.
He was older.
But
he was
basically-
probably
I
older.
see.
He was probably old enough that he probably shouldn't have chin checked his brother.
Like,
but at the
and then-
same time,
and then gonna squared up with him, like, let's go.
but
Like,
he never like jacked him though.
that's because the brother didn't fight back.
He
if
gave
the brother would have
his, he
But
gave
he
his
did
brother,
sock
he gave his
him.
brother an opportunity to get hard, and his brother was like, "Oh yeah, I don't want to be hard."
Yeah, and then even his friend. But here's
I
my
see.
thing. Look, I understand that you're trying to do this, like, but do that amongst yourselves. Like,
Yeah.
this is your family. Like you just embarrassed.
I
him.
feel what you're saying. He didn't have to put it out there on social
or
media
or
like
even
that.
just chin check the kid. Like, you could have just sat him down and like, or just showed him like, here, you want to really gangbang? Like, I know some niggas. I'll take you around the homies. Like, some kind of shit like that.
Some
Like,
scared straight shit.
I feel
something
you.
like that. Not like, oh, let me embarrass my brother, so now every time he walks around, you're gonna be that nigga.
Well,
that got-
essentially, that's what Beyond Scared Straight is, an embarrassment of
They
either
don't
their
have to
kids.
record that
They don't
shit
have
either.
to be recording it, but their parents are aware that their children are being recorded being scared straight.
But those Scared Straight programs were happening before it was even a show. Like, that wasn't the first of the Scared Straight
Right.
program.
It's been around for...
Yeah, it's just all fucking televised bullshit.
But it's kind of like the same thing of being recorded. Like, well, maybe not so much. They're not being like harassed or punched or anything, directly. But I do get the whole thing of, especially family. I feel like you shouldn't ever embarrass your family like that. When it's a family problem, it should be kept inside of the family.
Yes.
And it's a good lesson to learn, but something that should have been kept private.
I want to ask you a question. What is your views on like tough love? What do you think about tough love?
I'm all about tough love. I feel like I'm very sweet, but I'm also not afraid to let you know the truth.
Do you spank your kids?
No, I don't.
Okay.
I don't.
I'm not judging because I have 2 kids.
Right.
And like I will like pat my son's bottom. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's happened before.
I've never whipped my kids like out of anger, like have beat
how my mom
kids.
would beat me. Not beat me. Okay, Mom, like you wouldn't beat me.
Hey,
Mom.
I've gotten mad. Look, we had a conversation.
Yeah, no, like of course, especially being Mexican traditional, you know, it's very common.
Yeah.
So, but my mom never like gave me a cachetada like in public or like really any of that sense. Well, don't get me wrong. My mom did chase me one time, like when I was at a party and it was like late as fuck. And somehow like my mom is like the FBI. She like cracked my fucking phone when knocking on that fucking party, made that type of scene. Was like, no. Venga para acá. You know what I mean? Like you're going to take your little 13-year-old ass back home.
Trying to be fast, girl.
Yes, that type of, but I feel like, you know, my parents were super strict too. Like I feel like they kind of shot themselves in the foot in that sense. Don't get me wrong. You can be super strict and your child can be like completely straight arrowed. But I feel like as for me, the impact it made on me was to completely rebel.
I feel like there's got to be a balance.
There has to be definitely
my dad
a balance.
Was strict, but at the same time, he wasn't so strict that I couldn't get away with anything. And I think he kind of knew that he let me get away with stuff as long as I wasn't getting caught type stuff.
I see.
And like, I don't know.
My mom kind of the same way.
It's kind of weird. Like he's really lightened up too now as I've gotten older, of course. But like, I don't know. It's just, I feel like with this, there's got to be a balance. Like,
you know when they mean business, like, right?
Exactly.
And they didn't ever have to, like, for me, they did use force sometimes, but as when it comes to my daughters, like, they know when mommy ain't playing.
I never, like, I literally had a little conversation with my dad recently where he said, you know, he thinks of some times where he might have, like, unloaded a little too much on me for a little bit less than what I really deserved. And I was like, I can't honestly ever think of a time that I felt that way or anything that I'm holding against you for it. I feel like the times I remember thinking I was grown and thinking I was going to square up with my dad a couple of times, and he showed me that I was not going to. Yeah. But, you know, I never felt like he came at me on like in crazy any type of way. In anything that I would ever hold any animosity.
Be scarred or anything.
Yeah. So
yeah, and I feel like we all kind of were spanked and stuff. Right. I'm not scarred. I'm like from my mom, and my mom like did some serious like.
See, this is why I got into that conversation because I've gotten some like I ain't gonna lie. We gonna talk about it. We gonna be real. I have some scars from my parents from them beating my ass. You know what I'm saying? Because like they have when it happened, I felt like they have done it out of like pure hate. You know what I'm saying? Like, of course, it's always to teach a lesson, but like you didn't have to go to the extent you did. Like a good couple swipes, like you're beating my ass type shit, stripping me down to my underwear type shit, whooping my ass type shit. And that is where I'm like, you know, people that don't have kids, when I'm always seeing them post shit like, oh, when I have kids, I'm gonna whoop their ass. No, that's
like, just straight ignorance.
Wait till you actually have that kid and you see like whooping their ass doesn't do nothing. It really doesn't do a thing. Like I spank my son and it does not faze him. But when I sit there and take something away from him, it is the end of the fucking world. When he has to go to do his homework, go sit down, do his homework, and go to timeout, that's where the end of the world comes from. Not no fucking spanking that is actually teaching him that when you get angry, it's okay to take your frustration out and hit somebody.
And that probably is not a good lesson to continue to.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. And you're not accomplishing anything. You know, the whole point of disciplining a child is because you're trying to teach them something, you know? And you can be just as effective if you take them something away from them that they know that they love. You can talk to them like talking works too. If I sit my daughter down, she's able now to understand, like, this is what you did wrong. This is what you're not going to do, and just lead with expectations,
Mm-hmm.
I think it's my daughter's 7.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What grade is that?
She is in 1st grade.
That's awesome.
I have a 1st grader, and then I have a 5-year-old, Madison and Mila.
Damn, you look like 4 and 5. Wait, you said 7.
5 and 7.
7 and 5.
Yeah, I was a young
I'm thinking
mommy.
4. My son's 4. My son's 4. My daughter's
Oh, so
4.
your oldest is 4?
Yeah.
You have 1 or 2?
I have 2. My daughter's 1.5. A little over that. That's just where I throw the rounded number. I'm pretty sure she's older than that. But I'm like 1.5, dude. Ask her mom. Mom's the one.
She's got the number of moms.
She'll
She's
tell
got
you
the numbers.
On call.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Moms are good at that. They'll hold that shit until their son's like 36 years old. My son's 147 months old today. Like, what? Let go, lady.
How does your mom feel about you smoking cannabis?
Dude, I have been smoking. So, honestly, I really did the whole rebel thing. Like,
You did it?
yeah, I was smoking pot when I was in high school, like fucking sophomore year. My
You see, I
friends,
didn't really have that experience.
I was in like.
I regret it, but I don't, because it was so fun. It was fun, and the only reason why I regret it is because, like, I didn't put as much focus onto things I should have because I was getting high. But when I did do the things that I was supposed to do them at the time I was supposed to do them, I did them with 100%. And I'm just talking about sports. Like, I would fucking get high before my football games, like, faithfully. And that didn't do anything. But instead of doing that, like, maybe I could have, like, worked out more or something. Like, you know what I'm saying? Just dumb shit. It could have...
Spent your time a little bit more
You know
wisely.
what I'm saying? Yeah, that shit. But when my mom first found out, like, she came to my football practice and literally told the whole team, and my coach, like, made the announcement, yeah, Jordan ain't gonna be playing football anymore because he's smoking pot. And just snatched me out of football practice.
Oh, no.
And this is like my sophomore year of high school. So the coach had to, like, make an announcement.
I'd rather smoke pot than play football with you guys.
Dude, but the funny thing is I came back to practice, like, the next week and shit. Like, everything was...
I don't smoke pot anymore.
Yeah. And I'm smoking.
Oh, wow. So that's how she found out?
Yeah. So, I mean, it was like, you know, you always see those memes, like, kids these days will never know the struggle of, like, trying to hide the eye drops, the perfume, the fucking pipe.
It was a whole routine you had to do afterwards.
Kid.
It was a whole dance
dude.
you had to do.
And I had a little secret compartment where I had to try to keep that kid hidden. And my mom was a detective as well. They probably worked in the same bureau. Yeah. She fucking just did some digging and found my kid, and that was it. So
like, R.I.P.
But I never quit smoking. Actually, I took like a 30-day break when I went to rehab. But even then, I snuck in like some medicated hot sauce. So
Oh, no, you didn't.
I swear to God, no lie.
That's like I actually respect that.
Dude,
Medicated hot sauce. Yum.
It was crazy. I went to this event right before I went into rehab, like, bought all this shit. So, like, the day I went into rehab, I probably ate like 1,000 milligrams worth of fucking edibles. And then I had my chick, like 3 days later, when she brought me all my shit, I was like, bring me that hot sauce. So it was like, the hot sauce was like 500 milligrams. So I would just sit there.
You're like, I put that shit on everything.
Dead ass, like, because we would get served 3 meals a day. So I was, people would be like, can I use your hot sauce?
Nah, dog.
I'd be like, nah,
Limited
because
edition.
I was failing drug tests every day I was in there, but only for marijuana. So yeah, and
keep on keeping on.
Yeah, they were like,
they don't even take it seriously.
Yeah,
but
they were like, well, because they know it takes like 30 days for weed to get out of your system.
Oh,
and that's all I planned on staying there for. So, like, probably 3 days before I left rehab, I actually pissed one clean UA. And then I left and got the most stoned I've ever gotten in my life.
I bet.
I remember that time.
Oh, my God.
I literally, like, I got caught a couple of times when I was a kid because I probably started smoking when I was in, like, 8th grade. Got caught a couple of times. And, like, the second time, my dad was like, fuck this shit.
Wow.
I'm going to start taking you in for random drug tests. And I was like,
He took matters in his
so,
own hands.
So here's what happened. So I'm a sophomore in high school now. All my friends are potheads.
Oh,
so
shit.
I start fucking drinking. And I started drinking my fucking ass off. I drank.
You see,
I drank in school. I drank after school. I drank during the week. It didn't fucking matter.
Oh, he was drinking.
I fucking drank from the time I was
it did
like
the total
16 until really more recently. But it propelled me, instead of just smoking pot, it propelled me full on into being an alcoholic.
Wow.
And I drank all through college. I stopped drinking when I found out that I was diabetic.
Did you stop smoking cannabis, though?
I stopped smoking pot during high school. I was in the Army Reserves after high school. So when I was in college, I would smoke on occasion and actually failed a drug test a couple times because of that in the Army. And, but yeah.
What do they do?
You're not allowed to say.
I had some classes and things of that nature. But, you know, long story short, like, I did come back to smoking pot when I was in college, but I drank.
Really?
And if I was going to smoke, it was just icing on the cake. You know what I mean? And then when I found out about my whole diabetes thing, which was like when I was like 27 or 28, that was when or maybe I was 26. I don't remember now. But that was when I was like, okay, I probably need to stop drinking. And I really started smoking on like a daily basis. And I found that everything kind of balanced out for me. Like,
Right.
I wasn't always up and down and like, I don't know, fucking moody all the time.
All over the
I mean, I
place,
can
really.
still be fucking moody. Let's not lie.
Yeah,
But
you are.
it was, I wasn't going out and just raging and destroying my body 7 nights a week.
I feel that.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Wow, that's interesting.
So,
So
what about my-
on that, on that note, but I'm good now.
You're like, but I'm good.
Are you
No, I don't
sure?
really
You good,
like
good?
alcohol like that, to be honest.
do you drink?
I do drink, but I drink socially. So
Socially.
my parents always knew that I drank, you know, because
Mhm.
I mean, they would chase my ass down in parties and stuff, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But I had to like actually sit them down, you know, when it was time for me to like break it down, because I knew that this was not something that I was gonna hide.
Right.
I had made a choice one day, and I was like, no, this is not something that I'm gonna like do the whole eye drop thing or do the whole like, you know what I mean, like try to hide it with perfume or etc.
Yeah.
So I decided to sit my parents down for dinner one day, and I was straight up like, your girl smokes weed. Like, I smoke weed. This is why I smoke weed. I'm here to like give you all of the info.
Mm-hmm.
I'm here to give you all of the research. I'm here to answer all of your questions. Like, I just need you to know from my mouth that I smoke weed, and this is what I'm doing to treat my anxiety.
Do you think that was easier for you to do it because of how open your mom was when you were younger to helping you
Definitely.
with that? Yeah.
Definitely, you know, I feel like if she really wouldn't have let it known that she was there to help me out and knew how serious and severe my anxiety was, she recognized it, you know, she acknowledged it. She wasn't just trying to like sweep it underneath the drug. So don't get me wrong, they were a little taken back. But they came around,
Right.
you know, and now I can sit there. My mom will braid my hair. I'll be outside smoking. I won't disrespect their home, but I'm out there smoking, and she's there chilling with me, and she knows I'm smoking cannabis, you know?
Yeah. My mom lets me smoke in her garage. I used to. That's why, but she doesn't care.
Yeah.
My
Yeah, I
parents
don't-
are. Yeah, I think.
I don't really smoke in front of my dad, but he's fully aware that I smoke pot. I mean, I've been arrested with pot when in a state that did not have medical marijuana.
Oh, I
And
see.
He went ahead and helped me get out of that little jam up. And so, I mean, he's fully aware. He understands that it's probably way better for me to be doing than drinking.
Oh,
At least
yeah.
it's not heroin.
And, you know, I mean, I hold a job. I'm productive. I do things. I have extracurricular activities outside of my
You're
normal
like,
9
I'm
to
a
5.
working member
you know,
society.
I am a cog in society, and I don't think there's any reason that it should have a stigma.
Now, there are some days where you get that one strain that has you looking like that fucking drug commercial with that chick that was all deflated.
Oh my God. For sure.
There's some strains like you'll hit that shit and you'll be like, damn, I shouldn't have smoked that.
I think
should have
it's more
saved
of
that for night.
being aware, you know, what gets you to that point. Like for me, that's indicas, which is why I cannot smoke indica because I have baby indica lungs for some reason. I just pass out, dude. Like I cannot function.
And nap time.
Yeah.
And it's over. Yeah, I can't. So I feel like I need to play it smartly, and I gotta know what's right for my body and what's right for me, and it's sativa all the way, you know?
Yeah, sativa's lovely. I don't think that's what we have right now. We have some. What the fuck is this?
This is
Merit
good though.
badge. Oh yeah, he said this was more. This is a hybrid. but
So
it's
you
not
get your
sativa.
stuff from dispensaries?
Rarely do I, but
I see.
it's.
I mostly do.
Yeah.
You do.
I usually my
Mostly.
stuff comes from California, but I have to wait for a couple days. Anyway, no, because when you have your medical card, you venture off and you find, other people other caregivers that have their medical cards, and
Yeah, it's
That's
to be
the
honest, I'm from
joy about
Texas, so it's like I went from one end of the spectrum to the
Do they have
complete
any
other.
kind of?
Oh no,
There's
honey, not
nothing.
absolutely
It's strict as fuck
nothing
on
at
there, huh?
all. Texas will be the last state to ever legalize it. Like United States will be like, all right, we're on board, and then Texas will
Arizona-
be like, I
That shit.
fucking guess.
AZ and Texas is competing. I'm telling you.
I don't know, man. Arizona.
Oh well, we got the med card.
And we're gonna be. I mean, the 2020 might go wreck. I don't know for sure. I haven't read.
You
that
know what
much
we
on it,
got to
but they're
do? We
planning
just
on
got to
working
get
on it
all
again.
these old people
Yeah.
high one time. Just slip a fucking 25 milligrams in their food one day, and let them all have a good.
I
Hey,
don't
that's
know.
the future.
I don't
I got the
understand how they can be
CBD
so.
water from a market that I was just at
Let
right
me
now.
see.
This is the future, guys.
Ah.
Like this is hemp water with CBD in
Isn't
it.
that Molly water?
I
CBD water
just
too?
saw an article that you can start. That there's certain regulations still, of course, around it, but
Right.
certain hemp products will be now you can ship through the mail.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Well, now that the new bill was passed.
Yeah.
Shit, man. Well, looks like shit's gonna be
It's always moving in that
by the
direction.
time.
It's about to pop off.
Have we talked about it yet? Have we talked about that baby we have growing? No,
Ooh, what baby?
it's a nice big baby.
She's a cute little baby.
Yeah, it's coming. Hopefully,
Sorry.
huh?
I don't know ugly kids.
How exciting!
It'll come out good, man. I have full faith. I mean, we have 5.
He's got 5 shots, right?
Yeah, 5. I was about to say we have
1 out of
5
5's gotta be
tries.
good, right?
I'm going
Usually.
for 3 out of 5, but I trust him to go hit. I trust him to at least maybe knock 4 out of 5 out the park. But we'll go ahead. We'll lighten this shit up a little bit. We got a little deep.
It was
Deep
good
in
though.
there.
It
No,
took
yeah.
it took a deep left.
No, I
but
like that. But we like to lighten things up before we end the show. Yeah, for sure. We need that. Everything can't just be a bro. Like we need some.
We need
shit.
some substance
Some-
every once in a
Yeah,
while.
and some
definitely.
education, like in a push, like.
No, for sure.
some
we-
realness, you
we
know,
sit here
because
and try to push that shit all the time, but like I like when we get other people in here that will talk about marijuana. It's good to have the artists and everything, but like a lot of them, I feel like because they're artists, don't really like talking about marijuana on the microphone and shit. So it's like when you have somebody in here that's another, advocate,
there you go.
activist.
I feel like it's the same word, kind of.
It's kind of the same
It
word.
is, man. It's
I
like
feel
a
like
movement.
advocate has a more positive.
When you say
feeling to
activist,
it.
it's like
Activist
just
is like,
sounds
ooh,
cuter.
why are they so anti?
it's like a huh.
Advocate is like, this is some good stuff. You should get on board.
What you advocating, girl?
Good old marijuana. We got 10 questions for you.
Okay, do I have like a timer?
Yes.
He's like,
Well,
yes.
I mean,
He's like, good idea.
they're not really fucking
They're
like
easy.
brain
They're
stumpers.
easy.
Oh, I see.
And
This
Okay.
is to see
no
how
right or
high
wrong
you are.
answer.
Oh, okay.
They're fun. They're fun.
They're like
Gotcha.
You'll
quick
love 'em.
response type things.
Yeah,
Okay,
you'll love 'em.
gotcha.
You'll be cool.
We'll start off with number 1. We'll get you nice
Hit
and
me.
easy. What superpower would you want?
Superpower. I feel like I would want to be invisible.
All right. That is the first invisible.
Two first
wanna
on
be
this.
invisible.
Most people say teleportation, which
Teleportation, that's actually pretty handy. That'd be my
I
second
like
power.
invisible.
But
I
I
like
would just want to be invisible. And I feel like because I like seeing other people's perspectives. And also because I'm a metiche.
What is that?
Do you guys, nobody speaks Spanish here? Like
No.
nobody in the crowd? Okay,
I'm sure some of the people
metiche
in the
means
crowd
like,
do.
metiche or chismosa, it means kind of like nosy.
I know
Like
what
you're
chismosa.
nosy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's kind of like a term. If you say, oh, you're a chismosa, like you're
Yeah.
nosy, girl.
All right.
And I can be a
I
bit
like
nosy
learning.
sometimes, you know,
I
but
like it.
yeah, I feel like invisible.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right.
You just see like random smoke.
Just, like, what the fuck? Hold up.
Just look after the smoke if she ever goes invisible.
That's how you know it's CannaMomma. Just going straight. She just being nosy.
her ghost.
Chismosa, chingada.
Hey, you got it.
That's all I hear people be saying at my school.
Chingada.
Chingada. All right. Who is your favorite artist?
Who is my favorite artist? I feel like I don't really have one, to be honest. I like all types of different genres. I feel like I like a little bit of everything.
But there's always a but because we always have that one artist we fall back to when we just
Okay.
like, I need to listen to this right now.
Okay,
There's
okay.
always one.
I do have one in mind when you said that. So I feel like The Doors.
Okay. You know who they are?
The Doors.
Yes, I know who the
Okay.
Doors are.
I feel like The Doors, if I could just define my soul in a music form, I feel like it's the Doors song.
Okay.
One of the Doors songs.
What kind of music is that?
You don't know,
You
the,
don't know The
Doors?
Doors? Like,
Are you
I'm
serious?
really like, I'm not.
Now this is
asking.
a first.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
What kind are they? Like,
What kind?
Are you
they
serious?
are 70s rock, psychedelic
Yeah,
kind
I'm
of.
about to show you one of their greatest hits. Watch. I'm pretty sure you've
don't
heard
know
them,
The
dude. Like, you
Doors?
have to.
We'll end this song. We're gonna. Okay. Next question.
Okay, look. Okay, never mind, because I was playing the ad.
No, I was gonna look it up on my phone, but I was gonna ask you the next.
Go for it.
Joints or blunts?
Oh, this is a hard one, too. I don't know. I feel like I'm kind of married to both. Just because I can appreciate a good rolled blunt.
Mm-hmm.
And I love, like, just the vibe that comes with smoking a blunt, you know?
It is a different vibe.
Joints feel
is.
personal. I feel like
Joints-
joints are just like everybody should have their own joint. When
I
joints are being
totally
smoked.
agree with you. I totally agree
Some
with you.
niggas don't know how to hit a joint. They be sucking the fuck out that shit, and then it starts burning all on the side, and then it
Yes.
starts curving like a little
That is one
finger.
way to piss me off.
Like, bro, you should have passed out like 8 hits ago. That's probably just Arizona nigga.
It's just like stoner etiquette, you know?
Some
You
people
have to
don't
have
got
some type
that.
of stoner etiquette. Like,
We're gonna put together a stoner
Etiquette.
handbook. Yeah,
Yes.
etiquette handbook.
we totally
Would be
should.
dope.
And then we're gonna we can drop that. shit.
I think that might
That's a thing.
cooking up new things in the bakery.
All right.
Stay
What's a good
tuned.
song from these fools?
I
All of
want to
them?
say yes.
Light My
But
Fire.
put Light
Yeah.
My Fire.
I'm
Okay,
sure
that-
you've heard this.
Yes,
All
you
right,
have
I'm gonna
to.
play.
You've
it.
never
I'm gonna
heard
play it
Jim
in a little
Morrison.
bit. Let's get through the songs.
Yeah,
and
let's
shit.
finish
I'll play.
the-
We'll end the show out on that.
Yes.
Deal.
Deal.
All right.
Sure,
All right.
man.
All right. All right.
You have to recognize it.
Favorite Saturday morning cartoon.
Favorite Saturday, I mean, Peppa Pig. Like, I don't know, any type of like kid cartoons. Like, I pretty much know all of them. You know, I'm a mom. Like,
Peppa Pig.
What
I
did you
Peppa
watch
Pig.
when you were a
when
kid?
I was a kid,
For you, not for them now. I was like, nigga.
I thought you were
Peppa Pig
asking me
is
like, what type of Saturday cartoons do I have
no,
cooking up in my
what?
house?
No. Favorite.
That's how high I am, bro.
It's all good.
What did you
Yeah.
watch? When
She
you
was
were
like,
9
"Oh, we're
years
watching
old?
Jake, the Neverland Pirate and shit, Vampirina."
Ask me about that. No,
Uh,
I feel like for me, I would watch a lot of Ed, and Eddie.
There you go.
Alright.
Cowardly. I was more of a Cartoon Network type of girl than a Nickelodeon type of gal, you know?
All
Nothing-
right.
It depends on the
against
time of
Nickelodeon.
day. That was my thing.
Really?
Because I feel like this.
I think it was my type of taste of comedy.
I feel like they all like played cartoons in unison with each other because like at one time, like on Nickelodeon, you'd have Rocket Power and all this shit. And then at nighttime on Cartoon Network, you would have Courage and Ed, Edd n Eddy and all that shit. So it was like, all right, cool, I'm not missing much. And then Disney Channel like just fell off, like completely fell off the spectrum.
After That's So Raven, I would
Yeah.
watch That's So Raven a lot.
I watched that. I ain't gonna lie. That was my
She
shit.
was hilarious.
I'm
I
not-
feel
The
like
Lizzie McGuire
she's still
show?
Lizzie McGuire
I'm
was
not
my
gonna
shit.
lie. I'm so old that Disney was not basic
thing?
cable. No, they had a Disney Network, but you had to pay extra for Disney Network on cable, like on top of just having cable when I
Oh,
was a
I
kid.
see.
It was
So,
like when
like,
Justin Timberlake
We
was a
didn't-
kid, huh?
Right. We didn't have
Mouseketeers.
Disney Network until I
Ooh.
was like 16, 17, and I wasn't watching that shit anymore. You know,
Really?
Yeah.
I wouldn't really watch cartoons like that, to be honest. I would watch more like Dr. Phil and like.
Damn, girl, you're like 8 years old watching Dr. Phil. You got a problem?
Anxiety. I've got
No, that's anxiety.
Oh, shit.
I
Let me
would
see
give
how
myself.
these bitches is dealing with it. I got this. Hold on.
No, I really love all of that type of show, like Jerry Springer.
Back in the
Okay,
day,
no, maybe
Jerry
not so
used to
much
be
when I was
lit.
8 years old. Okay, but
No, back in the day,
I
Jerry
do.
used to be lit.
it
Like,
was lit.
yes.
Before
exactly.
reality TV kind of hit, you know, because
Yeah,
I feel like we
was.
were kind of in that
OG
breakthrough
reality.
of reality.
That was like the original.
Yeah.
OG reality is like New York,
Real.
New York. What's her name? Flavor of Love.
Yeah,
Rock
that shit
of
was whack, man. No, I didn't
that
like,
type of reality is my type of like.
That's what you like?
I love that shit. I eat that
Jersey
shit
Shore?
up. Like Love and Hip
Snooki?
Hop. Not maybe not so
Love and
much
hip-hop?
Jersey.
How about
Love and Hip Hop.
Vanderpump Rules? That's one that my
Vanderpump
wife
Rules.
always
I'm
watches.
total. Yeah, I tune
can't
in
watch
on
any
that.
of that.
Uh-uh.
It's so
Really?
I hate it
fake.
all.
Like
It's
they
so
just,
produced.
You think it's produced?
Oh, I
Yes.
guarantee
You know
it
what? But
is.
I'm so gullible. I completely
I
admit
can
that about
tell.
myself.
Look, I'm
I'm
so
really
sad for
I'm
you.
really gullible when it comes to like. But then again, I don't give
That's
a
not
fuck.
necessarily a
Like,
bad thing.
No, it's
As long as
not.
people
No,
aren't
it's not.
taking
I'm
advantage
talking
of you
about
over it,
just
but,
that
like-
in the TV world. I feel bad because you're watching poop. Yeah.
no, for me, poop is football. For me, poop is baseball,
She
and
got
I.
us.
Baseball sucks. I don't like baseball.
You
I
don't like
can't lie.
baseball? I was actually a softball player. Fun fact.
I played softball in 8th grade. Fun fact.
I was actually MVP.
I wasn't that bad. I was.
No, I was,
wasn't
and I
that
was like the
bad?
shortest
You was good.
girl.
Yeah, I mean that's what I meant. Like I wasn't that bad. Badass.
No, I have like
I was
a
terrible.
good arm.
Oh no, yeah, like I could throw and shit, but playing baseball and like throwing a football are like what? Two different worlds.
Is it two different things?
In a way, that
Two different
baseball goes
flick of the
so
wrist?
much faster and spins so much. You have to hold it a different way. It spins. Yeah, that flick of the wrist is a big deal. I'm sorry, off topic. Do you believe in aliens?
Absolutely.
I was like, you're a stoner. This is
Absolutely.
What stoner does
Have
that?
you had
Alien.
like something that has
alien encounter?
I mean, for me to like go write a book about it, maybe not when it comes to like alien abduction type shit. But I definitely do think that I've been like visited in the sense of my dreams, maybe, or like some type of higher divine. I've definitely been in touch.
All right.
I feel like well, yeah, we'll just leave it at that.
We're gonna bring you back. I want to hear about this story.
Stay tuned.
Favorite munchie meal or snack? Just something you have to have in reach when you are high as shit.
I want to say I like anything salty. I'm a Latina. I
Okay.
like hot sauce, guacamole, anything like chips and salsa. Really, I can just munch on that.
What do you call those little things? Like the little Tostitos, and they put the corn on it, right, in the bag. And the
Oh,
mayonnaise,
Tostitos.
The Tostito Locos or some shit.
Oh yes, those are really
Those are
popular over there in
bomb.
Texas. I don't really like it. It's too much
Oh
for
my
me.
God.
You know,
I
like
just tried it.
elotes. I like elotes.
Oh, elotes are fire too.
Yeah.
But they don't have those out. I live in
Dude,
like
I'd be chasing
Bougieville.
down the elote man in my car. It like I'm serious about my
It's
elotes.
jackpot. You gotta hit like 43rd. They're all. I'm about to drive down the road on the way home.
On the way home.
Dead ass.
Yeah.
All right. What celebrity would you like to smoke with? You ever got
Oh,
the chance?
Seth Rogen.
Ooh,
is.
that is a good one.
Yeah.
I'm like that is
Fun
like my
fact,
man, dude.
Seth
That is my
Rogen
like.
collects ashtrays.
Really?
Yeah.
How
We
the
should
fuck
send
do you
him
know
a
that?
hippie life one.
Because I follow him on Instagram and he's always talking about it. And this week he had one from like the old Victorian era, It was like a fucking like a cup on top of this thing that had a bowl under it, and then he would just spin it, and it would flip the ash over, and you would have like a. It was crazy. It was just this little.
That's
doohickey.
interesting.
That's what I just doohickey.
Yeah, Seth Rogen for sure.
Where and when would you go with a time machine?
When and where? I feel like I would want to go into the future. Just because I'm obviously immortal. I'm not going to be around forever. And I'm just fucking curious, man. I'm a curious little kitty. Like, I'm curious to know us. I already know the history. I know what the fuck has happened. I know how big of a fucking failure we were in the past, I feel. But I feel like us as a society, I do think we are going to get to a point where we're going to reach that higher level of consciousness and just overall as a society move on, you know, from what our mindset is right now.
I like that.
And I'm just curious to know as to
How far forward that would have to be.
Yeah, really. And I'm actually really curious as to what the fashion's going to look like years from now.
Shit, it's just going to look like...
Like, is
what
it going to be
was
some
like.
Hunger Games type shit? Is it really going to be like that? Or like...
Or is it going to... Yeah.
You know,
From the looks of it, they're
holographic
trying
everything.
to bring that
Like,
shit back that we've already had. Fila and shit, that ugly shit. Ugh,
no, I don't think so.
I hope not.
I
That'd
hope
be
not.
terrible.
I hope not either.
What would you name your own marijuana strain?
Marijuana strain, the CannaMomma strain.
The
Duh.
CannaMomma strain.
Yeah, I think.
Damn, I feel
it's a
dumb.
big
She made me
market.
feel dumb asking that. Duh.
No, it's just a straight answer for me. I know
CannaMomma.
what I want. I feel like
I like that.
I don't know. I feel like there's just a big market for it right now. You know.
It is. No, for sure. Trust me. We totally understand. This is the last one, so let's make it really...
Make it count.
Let's make it count. I'm high as shit.
I don't even know what it is that I wrote them.
That's hilarious.
The first time you smoked.
Okay, I remember this vividly. Did I? No, I don't think so.
No, that was
The first
her
time.
getting
No,
high on the
how I
plane.
told my parents too.
Yeah.
But the first time I smoked, I remember it vividly, like it was yesterday. Why? Because it felt like an out-of-body experience. It felt like I was on shrooms. Because the first time that I smoked, I was very comfortable in the group of people that I had around me at that moment.
Mm-hmm.
I can't really remember how old I was, but I do remember it's not something that I just smoked that one time and that was it. And it was my first time legit, like ever. And I think I was like 14, 15 years old. But I remember being at a party one day and it was already like 4:00 in the morning and I was with my best friend. And I remember we were all kind of like in the upstairs. There was like a billiard table and they were all kind of like in a circle smoking something, right? So I approached the circle and I was just like engaging in the conversation that they were talking about. And it was, like I said, like I knew everybody that was around me, right? But it was the first time that I had ever even been around like marijuana or cannabis or anything like that. So I didn't really know what the fuck, to be honest, I was even smoking, which is not really, don't do drugs, kids. Like,
Not
it's
really
not
smart,
it's
but it
not
worked out.
smart.
Don't
move.
go in blind.
Don't do what I did. But yeah, I definitely hit it one time. And I remember going into my girlfriend's room because it was her house. She had like, it was that friend in the group that their parents are like super down and they let them throw parties in that house. Mm-hmm. It was that friend in my group. Mm-hmm. So I went to her room and I remember laying back and I remember there was Bob Marley playing in the background. And I remember kind of feeling like as I laid back, like if the whole bed just kind of sank.
Like he just caught you, huh?
And it felt like I was like, there was a camera on top of me and it felt like petals were just like falling on me. But this is me thinking, this is me like, as I was laying down, and I don't know if I like closed my eyes or something, but I remember that perfectly, like that image in my head, that out of body experience of like petals somehow falling over me and me kind of just falling to Bob Marley music into the depths of my best friend's bed.
That's awesome.
No, that is awesome. Yeah. Bob Marley.
Yeah, it was a memorable experience.
That's great, man. Well, thank you for coming, man. We really appreciate having you.
Of course.
It's been so great. Like,
I had a good time.
that's what I'm saying. Time is flying. I'm keep looking at the clock.
I'm like, I haven't even checked time. That's how you know. It was 3:33. I have to go on an airplane right now, guys. If not, I could stay on.
No, it's totally
for hours.
fine. I mean, we got a lot of big shit cooking up for the future, so I know
Yeah.
we'll definitely see you. But again,
Yeah.
thank you so much for coming through and sharing all.
Thank
the
you for having
information.
me.
Yeah, I'm sure our listeners will definitely enjoy this one. There's a lot of good information.
Mhm.
Just for anyone who's having thoughts of just alternative routes of dealing with things. Now you have experiences to help you and just things to compare and weigh out to. So
Yeah.
again, thank you for having us, or thank you for coming. We'll give a quick shout out to our sponsors, starting out with Blazed Wear over there, 5613 West Glendale Avenue. Make sure you head over there. We got all our merchandise up now.
Get that hippie
Nice.
life gear.
All
more
of
to
it, the
come
snapbacks.
pretty soon.
Actually, the hoodies have been sold. I have to go
Hoodies
take
are
them.
done?
I have to take it off the shelf.
Hoodies
Ooh.
are done.
That's a good sign.
Hoodies are done. But we just brought out some.
Tees.
Yeah.
We got
The
tie
tie-dye.
dyes. We got snapbacks.
Ooh, I need one of the pink ones. Do you guys have any right now on hand that I can buy?
I don't think we have any.
I don't. I have 2 shirts in the car, but they're not pink.
I think you have a pink one that I have my
The
own.
pink one is at the shop, though.
I'll have to stop by.
Yeah, it's not too far, but you have a flight. We can tell them to take it off the shelf. I don't know if that's the only one, but we can have them make you one.
We can get you a
We
pink
got you,
shirt.
girl.
All right.
I just
Trust.
we got
Trust.
you.
I trust.
So anybody who's everybody, just go over there, take your gear over there, take your brand, because they're looking to fill their shelves with local brands.
Local.
So this is an opportunity.
awesome.
Yeah, we've been blessed, like, just to stumble upon them. We're actually just looking to get our shirts printed for a cheaper price, and we got that and our shirts on their shelf. So it's actually fucking right in the window. So you walk by and you see our shit. You drive by, you see our shit. So that's been a blessing.
Okay.
And we just
Okay.
want to share those blessings. Everyone get the same blessing.
Yeah, absolutely.
We definitely want you to then check out Marijuana Evaluations. If you need your medical card, they're on 18th Avenue in Camelback. Let them know the hippie sent you. I just had a homegirl that went over there, and she said they gave it to her for $100, the card,
Word.
and then she still had to pay for, of course, the doctor, the
Right.
medical. But if you already
wow.
have records, then she said it was $100. So
What was did she say what the medical records were?
altogether, she paid $250.
That ain't bad though.
Mm-hmm.
Dope.
So
Yeah.
it
Neat.
works. Just to let you guys know. And then lastly, once you get the card, slide on out to the west side, the Valley of the Sun. They have just renewed the whole shop. I'm telling you. They now have a window where you can see the grow. They have express
Sweet.
pickup. You can order online or over the phone. 10% off on Fridays. First patient special. 35% off the entire store. You get a free medical jar, and then you get a free pre-roll. And if you mention Hippie Life, you also get another free pre-roll on top of that. So they just dropped a shit ton of new strains. I just picked up some pineapple cookies yesterday, and that shit was fire.
That sounds good.
Fire, bro. I've already smoked the whole ounce. It's gone. I swear, it's
Feels like
gone.
It's gone.
It's bomb. Like
Dang.
on top. So
Shout outs.
yeah. Shout outs, Kyle. Or we'll start with you. We've never. I feel like we don't ever start with our guests.
What?
Shout outs.
Shout
This
outs.
is a chance
Shout
for you.
outs.
You to shout out.
to the people, man. I don't know. Like, I
Whoever
don't
you
think I
want.
want to shout out to
This is whoever you want. Whoever you feel.
really just to anybody who
to
has ever liked my picture,
anybody.
anybody who has ever followed me, anybody who has ever shown any type of love. Thank you so much. I feel like I really wouldn't be in the position that I am. I really wouldn't have the opportunities that I have if it weren't to a lot of these people really, showing love to me. So I just want to show it all back to you back. And that's why I do the giveaways that I do. I just want to be able to give as much as I can back, because I really wouldn't be in this position if it wasn't for
Tell the
anybody.
people where they can follow you.
Yeah.
You can follow me on Instagram. That's CannaMomma. CannaMommaa. It's CannaMomma. And I'm also on Twitter, and then I'm on. That's it. I'm like, that's all I'm in. Oh, YouTube. Go subscribe to my new YouTube channel. I'm gonna be doing a lot of anything cannabis. Really, I just really do want to jump into that market and just chase after my dream, man.
Yeah, that's a message we push here. So
Yeah.
it's perfect. And I see you in a lot of medical events. So I definitely encourage anybody who's looking to get out in the medical scene and see what's out there, you know, as far as events and get-togethers and the things that actually happens in the medical marijuana community. You definitely follow her.
Yeah.
She's always
I'm her
posting
girl.
flyers and whatnot. So
I'm also a part of Pink Kush Network, and we're a network by ladies, mostly for ladies. And we are going to be having our next event next week, March 29th, I believe it is, next Friday. And that's our mental health and cannabis event. We're going to be having a group of women that are going to be talking about their journey, really, when it comes to cannabis and all mental health. I think it's an important topic for us to cover, and we're going to be having some really great ladies. You know, they're going to be able to talk about their experiences. And then also we have a ladies' night coming up on April 12th, and that is our next big event. We're going to have tons of vendors. We're going to have dab bar. We're going to have just a whole bunch of goodies that we're going to be doing, and you just get to come out and hang out with a whole bunch of women that are all share a down-ass vibe, to be honest.
that's what's up, man. Ladies, make some noise, man, for real.
We got to stand up for each other. We got to stand together. And enough with
I like chicks that don't hide that they're a stoner. Like, I understand some of them that do, you know, I get it. But, like, the ones that are just like, yeah, man, I smoke pot. Like, I'm just like, that's tight, man. You know,
what you gonna do?
why you don't gotta hide it, you know,
You
unless
gotta stay true to yourself.
Yeah.
You gotta
know?
live in your truth, man.
It sucks. But not dissing any
Of
chicks
course
that
not.
don't,
You know,
I'm not
everybody
taking
takes their
shots at no
No.
females.
Everybody takes their journey at their own pace.
Yeah.
You know, I do believe, you know, but
No,
everything
there's
at their
us
own
that
time.
Support being
Huh?
out there.
Huh?
I said we support those that are doing it. Just being
Yeah,
out
you know,
there.
the ones that are, because I always feel like women are so passionate about, like, when they love something, they go hard for it. So like guys, like, what? Yeah, we're just like, yeah, man, smoke pot. You know, like, it's dope. Yeah, but
It
chicks will
levels,
be
man.
like, dude, smoke this weed, and this is why. And they'll give you a presentation, and they'll put their heart into it. And it's like, we
Yeah.
need that step to, like, get weed to the next level. You know, so I like it. Like,
Yeah, definitely.
we're going somewhere. K Boogie Boog, man.
Shout out to all the listeners. Another good week. I think you guys probably enjoyed this one. So keep tuning in for more. Keep an eye out this week because we might have something cooking for next weekend.
Ooh.
Just saying.
Yeah, that's for
Ooh.
sure. I can't wait, man. I just want to. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, and real quick, shout out to my homie Brian, who's moving back to Michigan, even though he's a bitch.
Hey,
Hi, Brian.
He actually introduced me to my wife, so
Oh,
That's the
nice.
homie.
Shout out to Brian.
man. Wife's dope. She is, dude. She's
yeah,
tight.
she is.
She's real tight. Shout out to my fam, for real. You know, just continuously putting up with my shit on a daily basis. Shout
I
out
love
to
that.
the team, for real. I swear I got the best team in AZ. Like, just as far as, like, just having a business. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I don't have to ask these guys to do nothing. They're always looking for the next way for us to improve. So I really appreciate that. So shout out to them. Shout out to all the listeners. Shout out to everyone who's copped any merch thus far. We appreciate you. And if you haven't yet, like Kyle said, be on the lookout. We got an opportunity for you coming up here soon. So with that being said, man, we appreciate y'all here riding out in the bakery for episode 21.
Hey.
I'm your boy Young Hippie, K Boogie, CannaMomma.
Hey.
It's been a lovely
Bye, guys.
Sunday.
And we out.
We
Till
gotta
next
go
time.
light my fire.